Good morning and welcome to the Logan County Commissioners meeting. Today is June 28, 2019. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Again, welcome. And we'll move on to item 3. Any citizen desiring to be heard? Sir, did you want to be heard? Did you want to talk? Say something? Okay. Could you give us your name?
Benny Douglas.
Benny Douglas. Okay. Benny, what would you like to address to the board?
Well, the roads and fences, stuff like that. Fences, some people build fences on the road. You know, not the road driving, but out there, about 5 foot over. And when garbage trucks come down, you don't have nowhere to pull over when trash trucks come down. They're big trucks. And the roads, every one of you, I think, know how to build a road. Do you?
What, I get an
Build
understanding.
a road,
Yes, I know how to build a road, exactly.
you,
Got a lot of people that do that for a living, yes, sir.
well, the drains are below the road right now. And if they build them up one time and then charge $150 a year or something like that for the roads in your district, you'd get it done. And everyone out there where I live will do it. Except one or two people, but they get outvoted. And if they don't want to do it, you can say, well, everyone's going to do it, and we'll put taxes on your house. Put on the property. If they don't want to pay it, it gets paid, and you get the property if they don't do it.
That's certainly an approach. Which neighborhood do you live in, sir?
Berkshire Street, Mary Dixon.
Well, really appreciate you coming in and giving us your opinion and your views on that, and we'll certainly.
Because, you know, build them up just one time and make the dishes drain, and the road won't get tore out. Is that right? Is that right?
Could be, depending how you do it.
Probably got a point.
And $150 a year, $150 a year, that's not gonna break nobody. Will not break anybody. This one lady might get hurt, but everyone chip in for her, because she's on oxygen and stuff like that. You know, I can see over that. Anyone that has property on that road, anywhere, should have to pay $150 per year. And build them up, and put rock or asphalt or something, you know.
If they would like to donate that, that's fine, but we can't impose a tax on them, so.
That is
It's not our
correct.
jurisdiction, so.
The county can accept donations for your district or your housing addition. If you guys would like to go together and do some volunteer work, there's a lot of that going on in the county right now, as a matter of fact. But we can accept donations, like Monty said, and you can donate specific to a road project. So if you wanted to take up a collection just for your roads to do what you said, I'm sure whichever commissioners over on your district would be happy to work with you on that.
The commissioners do not have the ability to impose a tax on an addition road.
Okay, how about the fences? Can you make them move them over?
Sometimes, if we have a survey.
And you have surveyors?
They are expensive, yes.
We do not have a county surveyor, no.
There are surveyors, but the county does not have a surveyor.
But whoever it is, he done said he'd pay for survey. But the fence is still out there, and dry stakes in the ground everywhere else. When the garbage trucks come, you don't have nowhere to go. I pulled every damn stake up, because I'm on the sheriff's department. And they said, pull them up. I did.
Sir, I missed, and you had said, and I didn't catch, what edition, housing edition are you in, so I can put it in the minutes?
Married.
I'm not really,
Married.
I have it on my desk, but I don't
Okay,
remember the name
I'll
of
see
the
if I can
edition.
find it, okay.
It's on Brookside Street.
Brookshire,
Brookside
Brookside, okay.
Street.
Yeah, just off the
Thank you.
top.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for certainly trying to come with a solution. Thank you so much. We
Okay.
do have some work to do. Did we ever get that?
Cedar Road, all right, we got a
Yeah.
meeting, never mind.
Any other citizen desiring to be heard?
I'll come
All
on.
right, hearing none, we'll move on to item 4, consideration and possible action on approving minutes for June 12th and 14th, 2019.
I'll move that we approve the minutes.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Item 5, consideration and possible action to receive bi-monthly report of David Ball, Emergency Management Director. Thank you, David.
Kind of some highlights. I, like you guys, it's been kind of crazy the last couple of months, but we survived.
Louis, get you all the signs?
Yes, yes.
Good deal.
So, for your reference, obviously you guys are aware FEMA has approved individual assistance for the homeowners and people that lost stuff. We have not officially been approved for public assistance yet. I was at the conference call with the state on Wednesday afternoon. It was submitted last Friday for the presidential deal. What I was told Wednesday was there's 52 counties in Oklahoma, and the OEM has no idea how long that'll take to get approval. They're hoping by the end of this weekend that they'll hear something back, but I don't know. And then of those 52 counties get approved, I don't know how fast they'll be here. So I know you guys are documenting as you're fixing sites, but please make sure you continue to document everything that you're going to want to try to turn in. We easily met our threshold of $158,000 when we went a couple weeks ago.
They could have went up, looked at 2 roads of Monty's and got that.
Yes.
Yeah, but-
And then we looked
Just to
at
put the dirt back cost that much money.
we looked at 2 sites in Guthrie, and we looked at the fairgrounds, and the FEMA rep that was here said, "I'm done. I don't need to go look at anything else." So we definitely, and the threshold is all based off of your population. Obviously, you guys, we've done this before. It unfortunately is not a super fast process, but documentation is going to be the biggest deal. Pictures is going to be the biggest deal. One of the deals that did come up a couple weeks ago is they're wanting pictures with GPS locations. So I'll try to get with you guys, and if you can have, pick one of your folks up, or you and I can ride together, however you want to do it. We'll go around. I've got an app that they suggested that I download to take the pictures with the GPS stuff on there, and we'll try to get that done before they get here. If not,
So
it's not
I got a question on that.
Yes, sir.
David, I purchased this little device for my work truck, and it tapes itself, it's a camera, it tapes itself to the front glass. And it takes makes movies of where you're going. It's for insurance purposes and first responders, that kind of stuff. But, you know, when we talk about taking pictures it's hard to get a picture of every 100 feet of a mile road that is just completely gone and washed out. I mean, the whole mile. To me, it would seem like if we were able to get, I mean, and I can do this with probably 100 miles just in my district, okay, go through and drive those miles that have been all washed out. I mean, we figured out that it takes about $3,500 just to replace 1 inch of road material that washed off the road for a mile. Now, if you think that, well, we might have lost 2 or 3 inches probably on average, right? So you can do we got 1,200 miles in the county, and that's the kind of damage that we've sustained, but we're never going to get reimbursed that much money. to fix these roads. So,
Correct.
I mean, every time we've had a flood event, in the last 4 flood events we've had in the last, or 3 events in the last 4 years, has done just that. We were never able to go back and rebuild what was washed out on these flood events. And as Monty's described several times, you know, we're at the point now where we can't go rob from the sides and scrape out of the ditches to put back on the roads, because there's nothing in the ditches anymore either. It's all gone. And it's, like I said, it's $3,500 an inch to replace a mile of road dirt.
It's tough because you gotta haul it that much further, and yes.
Right, well, I mean, and then you gotta find dry dirt. When it's
Yes.
raining, you can't put, it's hard to
Yeah,
put
you
mud
can't
in a
put
mud
mud
hole.
on mud.
It's
Yes.
difficult.
That makes
Yeah, we
it
tried that,
very-
it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Makes it very difficult. It's my understanding too, I mean, you guys are aware, but FEMA does come, 75% is what they'll pay. The state will pay 12.5%, and ultimately you guys will be out 12.5%. FEMA will just do the sites that are not on major collectors. Major collectors will have to go through ODOT. I think you guys have contact for that. That'll help you on the major collectors. But keep documenting. When FEMA does come, I don't know how smooth the process will be. I can say on the individual side, all of the folks from FEMA that have been here have been phenomenal. It was, what can we do to help you? Previously in 2011 with the tornado, it was like, this is all we're doing, don't ask for anything else. So the philosophy has changed, at least on the individual side, with the FEMA folks. So hopefully on the public assistance side, if and when we are approved for that, then we'll, you know, go through there. But it's gonna be a while, as you guys know, when we do get approved. Santa Claus may not even have money for you then. I don't know. But we'll try to get as fast as we can, but it does take a while.
The last time it only took them 2 years.
Yep.
Yes.
2 years.
Yeah, so.
I was being gracious with my 18-month.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it
I'll
does.
make a motion we approve it.
And I wish it wasn't, but that's how it is.
I say.
A motion and a second. One other thing, further discussion, I'll call for the vote. I did want to take this opportunity to compliment the state emergency manager. She has been very helpful with an issue that we've had out at Seward Road, where the BS&F train keeps blocking that intersection. Those people that live on the other side have got nowhere else to go, because the Seward Road is washed out, it's flooded, washed out. Kelly, they can't get south of Kelly. So there's a group of people that live back in there that when those trains stop there, those people are isolated and they can't get in. The emergency services people can't get to them. So the emergency management folks have been very good about calling them. You know, in this last week, they've blocked that track 4 times, and 4 times our state emergency managers got them to move it. They're the only ones that's been able to do that so far.
Shemeka and Mark Gower, the new director, they're
Been
awesome
very helpful.
folks. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and sometime you want to go down there and take a tour, well, we'll go down there one day if you like.
Thank
Any
you.
of guys want to.
Thank you for what you
Yep.
do.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes without objection. All right. Item 6, consideration of possible action to award following bids tabled from June 14th, 2019. Our 6-month bids for rock and metal buildings and so forth. We'll start with bid number 2019-14, the 3-sided metal building add-on at Logan County Fairgrounds.
We decided not to do that one. We didn't have enough money to do both the projects.
Okay.
So we've decided to do the spray foam project, or our goal, if you guys agree, is to do the spray foam project at the lower bid, and then do a couple of smaller projects, one being to put another bathroom in the show barn. You know, we added a bathroom last year, and being that due to the flood, they had everything stripped down. It's time to do that if we're going to do it, and that's a project that we can do. And then also put a French drain on the excuse me, the east side of the show barn, but to kind of help maybe control the water coming into the fairgrounds off that side. It flows in real bad there, so we're going to try, and even we had the guys come down there with their engineer to do that, and they said this is not a complete fix, but it's a start to a fix.
Yeah, we walked the east side of that
Yeah.
barn and looked at a French drain in there, what was it, 2 years ago? We
Yeah,
were
that's
talking about
correct.
doing that, yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, with the money that we have, we can actually do those 2 projects you know.
Okay, so we'll talk about 19-14 and 15. Those are the two on for the fairgrounds. So you want us to scratch, you want a no bid 14, right? The
That's
3-side
correct.
metal buildings.
That's correct.
And now let's look at the spray foam insulation. Is who do you recommend?
Cedar Ridge is, we met with the Cedar Ridge because he had the lower bid by quite a bit. And so we had some questions because there was such a discrepancy.
Sure.
We wanted to make sure that, you know, we had apples to apples, and he assured us that we did. And so therefore, I mean, that guy has been very beneficial in just giving us advice and talking to us. So, yeah, I mean, the board voted the other night that their recommendation to you guys, it would be our recommendation to take that lower bid and let him do that.
Okay, so the lowest is the best, you believe?
The bid from Cedar Ridge Construction for the spray foam is $56,643.89. The other bid was received from Seacoast Roofing and Construction for $70,980.
I'll make a motion that we approve Cedar Ridge. Is that-
Yes.
And,
Go ahead.
and we reject the bids on the 3-sided lean-to.
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Dennis, thanks for your work.
Thanks,
man.
Dennis.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it. And I know you guys are so busy and so swamped, you ain't got time to say your names, but seriously, props go to this company that has been doing this damage remediation down there. I'm not lying, guys. It's like this place is gonna be like a brand new facility when they get done. I am so impressed with them, the job they've done. It's just, man, that show barn is just already, it's so incredible. I mean, what amazes me is the quality of work that they're doing down there. I mean, they're really, really doing a lot of quality. So thanks again to you guys and Troy, and we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Let's move on to bid number 2020-1, 6-month cold patch for asphalt. Let's see, cold patch district. We're gonna start with 1, 2, 3, or how do you wanna do this?
I didn't bring any sheets.
I got one item on you, bud.
Okay. I
Uh,
already know who.
okay, we're gonna pick Craftco, I believe, for that.
Well, where's Craftco at?
That's PMSI over on I-35 in Waterloo. They got a pretty good product. We've been using it.
Cold patch?
Yeah, for several years. It holds up pretty well. It doesn't squish out.
And that was for for everything, delivery and.
So, yeah, so delivery, they don't deliver bulk. So, I mean,
We don't ever get that.
we don't ever get a delivery for cold packs. So, I mean, it wasn't an issue for me, Mike. I mean, we always go, if we're gonna go pick up, if we're gonna use cold patch, we don't use a bunch of it. It's for a temporary fix. So.
Yeah, we pick up in bulk.
Right, so do we, yeah, absolutely. But that's who District 1 wants to go with, is Craftco for cold patch, man.
So District 2 would be,
Well, we've been getting it from Logan County Asphalt in bulk.
they had the last 6-month bid.
I really think we ought to go with that. Could I look at that real quick?
District 3 is gonna go with Logan County Asphalt.
Yeah. That's where I'm going.
I guess I got a question. Let's say that Marvin went with Craftco down here and we go to Logan County. I mean, it's still a bid to the county. So really, that kind of opens the door, we go to either spot if one was out.
Well, generally, if a vendor can't provide on the bid, we can go to the next bid,
Right.
so.
Whichever each
And-
district bidded, we can go to the
And
next one.
it's always an option that if we find a vendor that's under our 6-month bid, we're always allowed to
If we can beat our bid.
use them as well.
So it gives us the option.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Let me ask the board before we move to the next bid, did you want individual votes per bid, or are you going to lay out and then do a motion to accept as laid out?
I'd like to just do one motion.
I think that's, yeah, absolutely, that's a lot less hassle that way. A lot less talking to me, everybody would appreciate that.
Second.
That wasn't a motion.
It was quiet, I had to fill it in.
It was one of those pregnant pauses,
Yeah.
as they say. What are we doing?
I'm waiting on you to say something about this here rock hauling.
I was waiting on, are you finished with the?
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to 2020-2 rock hauling, 6 month.
Do you need to look at that?
District 3, I'll jump out in front of these guys. District 3 on rock hauling's gonna go with Brown Transportation.
Mm-hmm. All picked it.
Are you talking about delivered, right?
Right.
Okay, so
Picked up by district.
I guess we would also go with Brown for delivered, but we'll never have Brown deliver any rock for us. It's just the,
What now? Brown.
I said, we're gonna go with Brown to deliver rock for us
Right.
on the 6-month bid, but we never ever do that. We never ever ask them to do that because it costs too much money. It's cheaper for me to buy rock at the quarry and have it delivered and pay somebody to deliver it here locally
Right.
than to have Brown haul it from
Right.
Davis Quarry.
But
Anyway, yeah.
we've had a lot of 3-inch that we've had brought in that had no fines in it so that we could dry up some of these holes. And so 3-inch is what we've been buying from Brown and having them deliver it is the best way to do it. We just simply do not have the trucker to do it. So I would go with Brown.
So I think that's the
Or
3
delivery
lists,
to the yard.
all there, okay. Now,
Actually, they're the only ones that bid, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to not. So on picked up, we're gonna go with Quapaw Pawnee for riprap.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna get, yes.
You don't have to, okay.
I will,
Do you have it written out?
I do. No, I got it circled so Quapaw Pawnee for the riprap on Surge Rock and Quapaw Drumright for all others.
Okay.
Stir some.
3's gonna go with Sturgestone as well.
Is it closer to y'all or
It is.
is it?
Yeah, and they normally have the rock.
Haven't had a problem with these guys running out yet. Not yet. If they do, I'll move. All right. On to 2020-4 6-month asphalt, crushed asphalt.
Crushed asphalt delivered and picked up, I'd like to go with TJ Campbell,
Same.
being the lowest bid.
Same.
Same. District 2 as well.
Not next delivered. Are we there on that one?
Okay, then maybe I misunderstood.
Well,
I
that's
thought you
it.
3 just said pickup and delivery TJ Campbell.
Nope.
On crushed
On
asphalt.
crushed
crushed.
Crushed asphalt.
So now
Sorry.
there's two other options. There's hot mix asphalt that is either virgin or recycled. There's two bids
Right.
there we gotta do as well.
To make it simple, District 3 is gonna go with Haskell Lemon on all the other asphalt.
As well as District 2.
Ditto.
Okay, so, just so
Oh.
I'm sure, crushed asphalt only, TJ Campbell, pickup delivery, all 3 districts. All other asphalt product, regardless virgin, recycled, type A, B, C, Haskell Lemon, all districts.
Pick up and deliver.
Are you gonna go down to 10th Street and pick up? Cause I'm thinking about going into Campbell's to pick up asphalt, hot asphalt.
Only thing you need to do is tell her right now.
All right, let's do that on District 2. We will pick up, delivery will be by Haskell. And laid in place is Haskell Lane.
Okay, so, District 2, standalone, pickup only, TJ Campbell.
Right.
Deliver,
Haskell.
Haskell
Haskell
Lemon,
Lemon.
all 3. Pickup, Haskell Lemon D1, D3.
Correct.
Yeah, let's see an auditor try and follow that
Haskell
purchase
Lemon's a
order.
long ways away. Troy, you did a good job.
Thank you.
All right, so we got asphalt, crushed asphalt, one year ballot printing for the election board.
Shalene could not be here. She has submitted a letter to the board requesting acceptance of the bid from Midwest Printing for the fiscal year 1920.
Was it the lowest?
Yes.
Okay.
There's various different products, so an overall was.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
okay. So it's the lowest best, they selected the best from the lowest, okay.
So make the motion for Midwest Printing.
We're gonna do,
Oh, I'm sorry.
All of them at once.
One motion.
Okay, all right, now we'll move on to the 6-month asphalt laid in place.
she needs to.
Right. Yeah, I already know who I'm gonna get.
Who you gonna get?
Haskell Lemon.
I'm going with Haskell Lemon.
Same.
Okay, asphalt by the order laid in place, all 3 districts, Haskell Lemon.
And that's both for virgin asphalt and recycled asphalt. All types.
They are slow.
Sir?
They are slow, but on the other side, the point is, it rained a lot, so. Be impatient.
All right,
All right, we'll consider.
I'll make a motion, we approve all them decisions.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes without objection. Item 7, discussion of county receiving donations of in-kind services from the public for work on county roads. There's been a little discussion on this and different things. I thought I printed off a copy of what you gave me on that, Troy. Did you have? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. She's always saving me. Did you notice this? All right, so in-kind donations. So we talked with the assistant district attorney, Mr. Bartow, and so the concern that we had is, and when I talked to Troy, and is the limits of liability on the public. I mean, we don't want the public to accept liability for being a good Samaritan, right? So that's the big thing. So we looked at that, and Lowell agrees that we can allow people that have, like, we've got a person that's got a big earth mover, a scraper, and he wants to donate his time, his technical experience, because that's what he does for a living, he operates big equipment, and donate his equipment and his time to help the county repair some roads. Well, the first thing that came to my mind was, what happens if his scraper picks up 100 pair fiber optic cable and starts chewing it up? That's going to get really expensive for that guy. If he's just out there doing it on his own, I mean, that liability, he assumed that liability when he put that spade in the ground, right? Or he starts digging dirt in the road. So we need to do something to, if we're gonna allow this to happen and help, and we do need the help, what do we need to do to cover them? And so what Lowell has said is that we need to have like a cooperative agreement with them where they have a donation in kind. There's really no monetary funds taken exchange in place, but we are accepting a donation of in-kind services. And that's what Lowell says that we need to do per donation like that to make sure that we cover those folks. And then the other thing is we need to make sure that they understand that they're really not a county employee, and so things like workman's compensation and things like that, they really wouldn't be eligible for if they were injured while assisting the county with that donation. So anyway, gentlemen, I thought I'd give you what Lowell had come back on. We're able to look at this. There's no decision that needs to be made on this. It's just that I think what we will, what I'll bring back to the board next time is a template. Is what we're talking with Lowell about, where we can fill in the individual's name and the equipment that they want to use or donate and the in-kind services. And then as a board, we can approve that on an individual basis as we need to. I think that was the gist of what Lowell talked about. Troy, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, the follow-up to this email I have with Lowell was that, and we need to buy a resolution. So we have this agreement, we have a resolution, and he says it will do it. It'll work much like we do with our ODOT, where we have a project agreement, but we still do the resolution as a kind of a together as a package. I did speak with him briefly about the form, fill in the blank type thing, so he's going to work towards that end on that. So I'll let you know when I get it from him.
My one thought is that this is a donation to the county, and as a consequence, it does have a monetary value.
It does.
And therefore, I think that monetary value ought to be figured out and then put on to that as accepting that in-kind donation value, so that then they would be able to go to their accountant and use that as a donation to a nonprofit organization, knock it off as taxes. And that'd be a real recognition of the value of the work.
And that would be an option if the landowner would choose to do that.
If it
Not all
chooses
of
to
them
do
wanna
that. I think it ought to be off.
I think it's a great idea. And that's one of the things that we also talked about was the ability for them to use that as proof that they did provide a donation to the county. But to assign a monetary value to it, it's kind of an interesting topic. You know, who gets to decide what that costs? Would it be the county commissioner that's accepting the donation? I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I mean that's. I'm just asking the question. How do we?
Well, they would have to establish that it actually had that value. I think the person who was doing the donation.
Well, if I was donating, I would say the value was $100 million.
Well, there you go. There you go. But I do think that IRS might have an issue with that.
Well, yeah, that was my point, sir.
So they would have to establish that they had expended those kind of funds in way of labor, fuel, or equipment.
Well, part of the discussion with Lowell, since you brought up fuel, was to formulate the agreement that would allow the county to provide the fuel. That's kind of only fair, right? If you're going to donate your time and equipment, that the county, if the donor requested that the county could provide the fuel for the equipment, if that were asked for. Lowell's looking into that as the agreement. As far as the value of the donated service, I agree, tax purposes would need a value. However, the feds have provided us with standard hourly rates for various services, and I think that we could just look at what the federal standard is as determining the value.
So it would be the FEMA reimbursement?
Yeah, we see it, and actually Millie Vance could help us with that, because with the CDBG grants, she has to go around and verify that these federal rates are being held to, so I can have her provide us that info. But I think that would be a standard that isn't subjective to the county or to the donor. That's a set standard by federal.
It's more of an objective standard, right? I get it.
kind of, well, we need the help. It might be encouraging.
Yep, I agree. Okay, anything else, Monty, you got?
That's it.
anything? Okay, thank you very much. Move on to item 8, consideration and possible action to approve specific assistance agreement with Oklahoma County for repairs of a portion of Waterloo Road at Possum Creek.
Yes, sir, this is
I think that's that Opossum, by the way.
Yeah, this is the work being done on Waterloo, west of Westminster, and just, they're next to a bridge where there was a big issue. The road collapsed and they're doing that, but to, continue, well, they're gonna finish it up here, hopefully after July 4th. And they need this in order to be able to do that, of course. So I make the motion to accept this interlocal agreement.
So you're gonna pay 50,000 of it?
Sure, why not? I mean, you know, we got cash just falling out of our pockets. I think our share was
Haven't fixed the road, you got money falling out of his pockets.
Here you go. No good deed goes unpunished. All
I'll
right,
second Mike's motion.
have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, item 9, consideration possible action to approve resolution renewing lease agreement number 421015 and 99-2332 with ODOT for 2019-2020.
Your two pieces.
Yeah. One's a tractor, one's a truck.
Man.
Their resolution, they provide us the resolution and it just has contract numbers.
Right.
I can't believe you do business with ODOT.
I didn't start this, but I'm gonna finish it. Was that a motion you made? Was that a motion?
No, I wasn't.
Seems like you already signed it, I'm gonna take it as one. No, I'll make a motion to approve it. Thanks.
Camouflaged really well, but I'll second.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I guess I'll vote aye with Marvin doing business with ODOT.
And I gotta do what ODOT wants, right? I'll say aye.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes unanimously. Y'all are killing me. All right, you got something coming up here pretty quick. Item 10, consideration of possible action to approve a resolution renewing lease agreement number 9392800 with F&M Bank for 2019-2020 Coyle Fire Department. I suppose that's for a pumper or something?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 11, consideration of possible action to approve resolution renewing lease agreement with SNB Bank for the following equipment for District 3.
What's ODOT?
Goes on ODOT.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right. Item 12, consideration of possible action to approve resolution renewing lease agreement with Security State Bank for the following equipment for District 3. 2018 John Deere 672G, actually 2 of them.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 13, consideration of possible action to approve a resolution renewing maintenance agreement with RK Black Incorporated for Cairo CIA 250 CI for FY 2019-2020 for District 3.
I'll make the motion again.
I will second again.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 14, consideration of possible action to approve a resolution renewing the lease agreement with SNB Bank for the following equipment for District 3. That would be 4 2018 Mack trucks.
Make the motion to approve. I'll give us.
I'll second, since that's not overdone.
No,
Oh, those
I
are-
think that
That's-
there's been a typo on the end of that. These are District 2 trucks, not
They're
District
not my
3.
trucks.
So
Oh, come
you-
on, you didn't wanna pay for them? All right.
Sorry, guys, I didn't catch it.
So so now this is where you get into agendas that are wrong, they have a little, and never mind, I won't.
I ain't saying a word.
So,
I'm already in trouble.
I would offer that we do a pen and ink change, from District 3 to District 2, because that is where those serial number trucks are belong to, right, Mike?
That is
They are your-
correct.
They are your
Those
trucks.
are my trucks.
And so it was an administrative error, and we can correct that here, I think.
So you make a motion to approve for District 2?
That is correct.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes without objection. Until the meeting's over.
Right.
Item 15, consideration and possible action to approve resolution renewing maintenance agreement with R.K. Black Carosia for printer for 2019-2020 for District 2.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. 16, consideration and possible action to approve 2019-2020 renewal lease with RCB Bank for District 2 for 2015 Mack 10-wheel.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 17, consideration of possible action on approving consolidation, hang on.
Spit it out.
There's two considerations. This is a double print here. I am just gonna read the one. Consideration of possible action on approving FY 2019-2020 equipment
You
lease
take back what you said.
renewals with Warren Cat for District 2.
Make the motion to approve.
I have a yes, I'll second. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. 18, consideration and a possible action to approve 2019-2020 renewal of mining agreement with Jim Stover for District 2.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second. Get a little would it be better if do we need to do that as an individual district, or would it be better if we just entered into agreement as a county with Mr. Stover?
I think the county could just, as a county.
Because we all can get,
He doesn't care who mines it, carries it off, as long as he gets paid.
yeah, we both got mining equipment over there, and
Got a little
So we
kingfisher
could,
county
we
over
could
there.
strike this item and I can put it back on and redo that.
Mike, would you mind if we did that
No,
as
I
a
don't-
county instead of just
Make
by
a motion.
district?
You got
Okay,
it.
all right. If you don't mind, we'll do that.
No,
All right.
no problem.
Thank you, sir. All right, item 19 then, we'll move on. Consideration and possible action to approve resolution disposing of the following equipment by trade-in to Warren Caterpillar for District 2. That's 4 2014 Caterpillar 140Ms.
Those are the cats that we
I'm against it.
turned in. You wanted them, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd like to have one.
There you go.
So,
I'll make a motion.
okay. Have a motion and a second. Just one question, Mike, just for my own. When they say trade-in, these were the end of lease that had a balloon
Yeah,
payment?
these are the ones we serve.
And we-
Didn't we surplus them and such anyhow? These are the ones that they are.
They would have had a balloon payment with,
Fine.
yeah, we've had, I get it, okay. All right. Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item 20, consideration and possible action to approve detention transportation contract with the Office of Juvenile Affairs for 2019-2020. I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. 21, consideration of possible action to approve detention transportation claim for May 2019 in the amount of $1,179.03.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 22, consideration and possible actions to approve cleaning agreement with Jan Pro of Oklahoma City for FY 1920 for the health department.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Item 23, consideration of possible action to approve agreement between Coyle Public Schools and Logan County Sheriff's Office for school resource officer for the period of August 2019 through May 2020. Damon, I don't mean to call on you out of turn or without notice, but would you like to, I mean, this is kind of
This is
a cool deal.
Yeah, this is a continual deal. We started this last year with Coyle Public Schools. They found it valuable as we have, and would like to renew that contract for the next year.
I think it's great that we've got deputies in our public school systems.
You bet.
And I will make a motion, we approve this.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 24, consideration and possible action to approve 2019-2020 SmartNet maintenance agreement for $4,111.67 with Chickasaw Telecom for the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, this is our phone system.
All right.
Make the motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item 25, consideration of possible action to approve FY 2020 Smart Control Contract for $20,832 with Smart Technologies for the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, we all need to be a little smarter. This is for IT
Hello.
services.
We all would strive for that.
Yeah, we need some of that smart control.
What do they do, Damon?
IT services.
Dang.
I could use it for some of my grader operators. Never mind. No, I'm just being facetious.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Website and stuff.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes without objection. Item 26, consideration and possible action on approving FY 17-18 software service agreement with Kelpro
I quit.
for the sheriff. Did you forget to pay back a couple of years? You weren't even sheriff then, I don't
Well,
think.
if
but-
you'll notice, it says sheriff, county clerk.
It's
county
all of us,
commissioners.
it's the city of Kelpro, you know.
Ma'am, if I may interpret, this is an administrative error, that this is.
Oh, tell the truth, the damn clerk screwed up.
No, it never happens. This is for FY 1920, correct? I mean,
It is for 1920.
I can see
Kelpro
what-
Software Services.
the Kelpro software made a mistake and put the wrong date on this, I believe.
I'm not gonna take the whole brunt. I send this to you in a draft form, and none of y'all point this stuff out till we get in here.
It's much more entertaining to wait.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve for FY 1920 as corrected. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes without objection. Item 27, consideration of possible action to approve FY 1920 contracts for juvenile detention services for Cleveland County and Pottawatomie County Juvenile Detention Centers at $39.35 a day.
Hey, Damon, we do a bunch of these contracts. Do you use a bunch of these different counties, or
Well,
you just do it
it's
to cover
kind of bed
yourself?
specific. Our favorite's Sac and Fox because they're the cheapest. But sometimes they don't have a bed available, so we gotta go to the next one, and it's just trying to find bed space.
Yeah.
So that's why we do that.
So the juvenile deal is a pretty big deal then.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like mental health, sometimes it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion. To approve.
I will second. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item 28, consideration possible action to acknowledge receipt of notice of tort claims from Nathan Hallowell and forward to ACO Claims.
I'll make the motion to approve the acceptance of this.
Acknowledge the
And
receipt.
acknowledge the acknowledge this and get it sent over there to, claims.
I'll second Mike's motion.
Have a motion and a second to acknowledge claim. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
We have no items for 29 and 30.
All right, item 31. Consideration and possible action on approving the following permanent road crossing permits for Logan County, Rural Water District 1 and Navigator SMS Pipeline LLC for 8-inch water line on Douglas and one on Charter Oak. Look like they're both over in your area, Mike.
Yes, sir. I'm looking.
Okay.
Going across Douglas, quarter mile north, Charter Road, okay. Not a problem with that. Yeah, I'm not having any problem with that motion too. Well, we gotta go through all the other navigators. Some of that is on your side, isn't it?
They're going across the county.
All the way across the county.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm familiar with that line. Yeah, and OMG is on your side of the county. Yeah.
Was that a motion?
I'll make the motion to
I'll
approve.
second. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Sign them.
All right. Holy smoke. All right. Bunch of them there.
Buddy.
I think we'll catch up here for just a second. It's gonna be a lot of
There's a
signing.
bunch of them. Yeah, this is that Plains pipeline that's gonna go in next to the other two. It'll be interesting. And I think they're supposed to start on that Plains pipeline like July, like the first or second week of July.
Maybe what, you're all right.
You're all right.
I'm all-
You know, it's like Christmas morning when I look across here. You work a month, you spend all that time, put everything in pretty wrapping paper and all that.
And we
And in
just-
5 minutes, everything's undone.
Yeah.
And then you go back and clean up the mess.
It explodes, yeah. The wrapping paper, boxes, yeah.
I think you'll find everything in order.
And simple,
Even if that's disorder, it.
or out of. Yes.
We work hard at this.
I know.
This is really exciting stuff we get to do here, you can tell.
Sweat rolls off my brow.
I was napping too. I
gonna ask her if the latitude longitude lines are correct, but I didn't wanna go there.
Yeah, Dave, right, check it with this GPS thing.
Yeah, yeah, get these. Yeah, take a picture of it.
So I noticed the CEC boys were out yesterday, skulking around out in the county.
Good.
Yeah.
Bet they putting up District 3.
No, they came over and looked at a bridge that I had closed in District 1 and complained that my signage wasn't proper. Yeah, okay.
Bridge inspection people?
Yep. And so I asked, you know, I appreciate them coming out and looking at it, but I never asked them to come out and do that. Right, so I was kind of wondering how that happens. Is that an ODOT contract you guys do?
Yeah, it's an ODOT contract.
Oh, okay, so ODOT's the one that is saying that my bridge markings aren't, my road
Business
closed markings aren't correct, huh? Huh? Yeah, exactly. I'm just curious, because when I asked what was wrong with them, they go, oh, well, if you don't want to do what we tell you, we'll just mark it down that you refuse to take our advice. Oh, well, that's great. Thank you very much.
Somebody told you that yesterday?
Yes, they did. Some more help I need during an emergency. People running around giving me another list of crap I gotta do from ODOT. Okay.
We won't give them this one.
I already had that discussion once this week. With people from ODOT.
Do what?
So I've already had that discussion once this week with people from ODOT.
ODOT, something, you know what I heard on it, that has nothing to do with you guys, but another angle from ODOT the other day, just this week, that they're tightening up and being more detailed and more precise. Not in a good way, but they're more technical and asking more questions than usual these days. Because I'm doing some other things and they're putting pressure on me because they're getting more, I don't know if it's because they're going through an audit. But
It's better than an audit.
they're being more, you know, putting pressure on all of us to cross your T's and dot your I's.
They had kind of a changeover of personnel.
So something's happening and I didn't get a point of why they're being so, I mean, I do something, they question me.
Oh, that's interesting, because it's the other way around. They do something and I question it. They don't like it.
No, they don't like
They
it.
don't like it. Especially when they ask us to do something that is outside of the law.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'd heard that they were under audit, and that's why they tightened everything up.
I mean, somebody's actually looking at how they spend our money.
I found it odd, you know, on some of our bridge projects that it's been 4 or 5 years later, and now they're wanting to close out money they had allocated to them projects. I mean, that's kind of poor.
And not give it back to us.
Well, I've gotten some of that too, is they're wanting to close, because they've hit me up about closing up some projects and making sure that stuff, they don't, you know, because they've got money that was allocated and now they're wanting to clean up those POs basically.
Yeah, the problem is they've never really managed the CERD program. They outsourced it to the CEDs who just did what CEDs do, which is whatever CEDs want to do. And so they outsourced that to the CEDs and lost control, which they really never wanted to control. So, I mean, when you outsource your responsibilities, there's a reason for that usually, because you don't want to be responsible for it. But guess what? The law says they're responsible for it.
it's gotten in a position that your left hand don't know what the right hand's doing.
It's more like an octopus. They got more than two.
Hmm?
They got more than two hands. They're more like an octopus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's more tentacles out there and they just can't track them all.
And none of them know what they're doing. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve. I already did it.
Did we?
Oh, Rossing's, I thought we did.
We have that one. We're just waiting to
On
move on to
pipeline?
item 32.
Excuse me. Item 32, consideration possible action on consent agenda.
Payroll.
So, are you gonna take a vacation this year, Troy?
Yes, I booked mine. I bought a ticket, but mine's in September, when we're way past fiscal year changeover.
Oh, well, good for you. Thank you for thinking about the county when you schedule your vacation.
Always.
In the middle of football season?
So that wouldn't work for you.
Oh.
Are those?
You're ready for something to be signed. I don't know where them came from. I suppose we approved them all. I just didn't pick them up and pass them through the line. D1.
I think that's what she was talking about, Christmas over there earlier. That we just throw boxes there, her Christmas presents everywhere.
Well, here we're nice little envelope, put them in.
I know.
I'll get them going.
All right, you get them
I
started.
got everything else there.
Well, you do a good job of it. I will give you that.
Can we move on to comments and announcements while we're signing this? Before I forget a bunch of this stuff.
I don't see why not.
Thank you.
I mean, while we're signing, we're just supposed to be talking. Some of us can do it.
Sign and talk at the same time?
I get, one question I got is, what about the testing on the 6-story building? Another comment I got about it is we've had some dumpsters out there for a couple of weeks, and that guy's gonna be getting a little crabby if we don't start filling them up.
Well, as far as the testing part, they came through and did their sampling, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, somewhere in there. I haven't heard any results. I don't know how long that takes. But they have been on site.
How we gonna get that stuff carried out? Is the sheriff gonna do that? or-
Yeah, if we're gonna start, I was hoping to get started this week. Didn't happen, so.
The rain.
No, just
That's what I'd blame it on.
other things.
So another thing is, Judge Dool's air conditioner in his office quit, and I guess the one in the courtroom has quit, or I guess the courtroom quit first, now his quit yesterday. So,
I put the call in right after I spoke to you. I don't know if they have been there yet today for Judge Jewell.
one other thing I got is, the new EMS board, when we're gonna start appointing board members.
I can put it on for the next meeting if you want.
We still got no applicants for parts of the district, so,
That is correct.
do we let that go, or do we, start pointing at a large, just random people out there?
I think it's up to the board, whatever the board decides to do. And so, along those lines, what I would recommend, sir, is that we place that on the agenda for consideration and possible action to appoint members. And we can, we can discuss all of that then, right? I think we can pretty much do what you said, but it's something that.
I think we got enough applications, if I remember right, to have a quorum. We just don't have the board filled, is that correct?
Yeah, I will double cross-check the apps that I have.
I think Lowell's kind of, he provided some semi-legal guidance on that, right, as far as, the board can determine how many and from where. We said we wanted to have one from each, if I remember the conversation, we said we wanted to have one from each school district.
And one at large.
And one at large, but we don't have one from each school district, so appointing at large until the school district. Always, and when they come back up, like the second time, we appoint an at large instead of the school district, the next time that appointment comes up, whoever's on the board should remember that was supposed to be, if somebody from that school district applies, they should be given priority on the next appointment, is all I'm saying.
The only
It's just-
thing
You go ahead.
I think that needs to be clarified, and I will ask Lowell, is the at-large member, I believe, is going to have to reside in one of the 6 districts. You're not gonna be able to put an at-large that isn't within at least one of those 6 districts.
But we could have 2, just say from Mulhall, Orlando area.
Right,
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
I think so.
For instance, one district, we only have 2 residents. And Perkins District is also pretty slim.
Well, I know we've gotten several applications from the Mulhall, Orlando
Well,
area.
the one doesn't actually reside in Logan County side of Mulhall District, so that wasn't valid.
Right.
Yeah, but I think we got 3 applicants from that area. I'm not sure of that.
Me too.
We didn't get any.
Does the millage rate start after,
Perkins isn't in
Or
the
now?
EMS.
No.
Well, yeah, it is. Never mind.
once they establish it? or-
The millage rate doesn't start until the board is appointed and the board takes an
Okay.
action. Yeah, the
Yeah.
board's the one that has to determine that.
So I say we need to kick the ball off the tee.
Our job's to appoint the board. After that,
I agree.
that's their deal.
It's still got time before it ever even gets any bucks that can do anything
If I
with
could
it, but.
clarify that, Martin.
Yes, ma'am,
I
absolutely.
think that might be incorrect in that the ballot question established the 3 mil levy.
That's why,
Right, but
So I
the,
think-
but the levy can't be, the levy can't be implemented until the next year after the board's appointed, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
So that you can't, the levy doesn't start until the board is appointed and there's a certain time frame that collection starts,
That's right.
I believe. I don't know.
I'm gonna double check, because if the board was appointed, let's say in July,
Right.
levies aren't certified until about October.
Right.
So that levy would probably begin in October if the board's in place in July.
Right, right. But it doesn't, there is a process for that, but the board has to be appointed first before, because if we don't appoint a board,
There's no one to receive the
There's
funds.
nobody, exactly.
and so that levy can start October, November, December,
Is
January.
that in on consent?
No, there are no transfers, there are no blankets. We do have the claim for the election board secretary that is signed by the chair, and alcoholic beverage tax.
Oh, Chris.
Chris, get your camera out.
12 grand for good.
Cheaper than the what?
I don't want my name on there until you snap
I don't
a
get that.
little photo.
I'm not putting my name on it at all, I object.
It's just for
And
numbers.
that will conclude.
Guthrie's 12,000, Crescent 1,700, Mulhall's 273, Coyle 395, Marshall 830. Make sure I'm on the right line here.
Yeah. Langston.
Winston,
It's a big.
$2,095. Meridian, $46. Orlando, $179. Cedar Valley, $350. Cimarron, $182. I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second on consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Item 33, consideration of possible action to approve claims for payment for 2019. For June 2019. Oh, I thought it was mine.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Sheriff,
They ain't over yet.
sheriff, sheriff, sheriff.
Saw the old purchase orders to Missy's Donut Shop. What's Oh, they don't take POs anymore?
No.
Man, over PO, over PO.
Well, yeah, there you go, $4 over there, Mark.
Ah, but only I can take it.
That's true.
Yeah, she could use the credit card. I forgot about that.
I'm trying to get them to,
Carry out or delivery?
I'm trying to get them to take fuel.
Oh, delivered. Delivered, yeah, that's even better.
Fill the van.
Can we do a 6-month bid on that? Donuts delivered to the shop. Or picked up.
Sheriff's office delivery.
Dale.
Pick up.
Hey, yo. I like it.
You guys know all this is on video, right?
Of course we do.
Yeah.
That's even better.
We are the entertainment on meeting days.
Thank you.
Put my hand up.
I needed that, thank you very much.
It's even online.
Live.
Live.
Is it live?
It is.
Sweet. I'm on.
I bet you said, that ain't my kid.
Oh, our mamas were always proud of us, even when we weren't
Hey,
doing
I
stuff
want-
to be proud
I'm gonna
of.
point this out, Marvin. There's 2 of them got 3s on.
Well, I wasn't gonna make any comments about that,
You
because,
can tell because he pauses.
Well, you can't when you got some 2s.
yeah, I know. It's a-
King fraction. I'll make a motion to do the claims.
Second. Have a motion and a second on claims. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
We have no
unanimously.
P card payments today either.
You didn't use the credit card.
Oh, I'm using it. I'm just not ready to
You're
pay.
just not paying. Oh, I get it. I like the way you operate. All right.
Better hold to him and beat him out, huh?
There you
Item
go.
35, any citizen desiring to be heard.
Troy, should I bring up the water issue?
Sheriff, you got like something you'd like to
You
say?
can, I
Please do
might wait
so.
and see if we get a formal thing, but that's up to you.
Well, okay, I'll bring it up. Yesterday we were advised that we've been getting quite the discounted rate from the city on our water. They provided us with...
You say thank you?
Not yet. In April of 2014 to May 2014, our monthly bill was $6,316.
A month?
Yeah. Oh, that's nothing.
Hold
The
on.
following month, our bill decreased $1,578 total. It went from that $616 to $1,578, and it's been a consistent $900 to $1,800 monthly. Well, the bill for this month is $9,708.
Gee, Christmas.
The thing that they determined was, back in 2014, a uncalculated meter was put on our pipe,
Uncalibrated?
uncalibrated, whatever they call that.
Yeah.
And that didn't take into consideration the size of the line and stuff like that. And it was recently found, so we've, like our last month bill was $1,352. Current bill, like I said, is $9,708, and they anticipate that to be kind of the average from here on out.
9,000 a month.
Whoa, for water.
And that's the sewer, the trash, I mean,
so-
that's the city services bill.
Well,
So-
water alone was $7,381.
What's to prevent us from dropping a well and having our own water?
I brought that up to Troy.
Well, I mean, really, I'm serious. Go ahead.
Well, being in the city limits, the only water well you're allowed to have is an irrigation well.
Yeah, well, we're not public.
We're irrigating.
Yeah,
We're irrigating toilets,
we're irrigating.
showers.
Yeah, we're providing a public service here, and I can't believe
I
that
agree.
that is absolutely,
Well, and, you know, after we
unnecessary.
found out about this, I got with our maintenance people and, you know, of course, we're looking at the flush rate of our toilets, trying to decrease that.
I mean, you got laundry there,
you got laundry, car wash, I mean,
you got commissary, you cook meals, you do all sorts, I mean, all the water.
Has there been a comparison? I mean,
Well,
to other facilities
that's,
similar to yours?
that's something we're gonna do today, is I'm gonna send an email out to the
So
facilities.
again, what would it cost us to haul water in and store it on site?
Well,
I mean, there's all sorts of ways.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is.
What
pressure.
legally you have though, being a housing and responsible for the inmates, he's gonna be subject to what the state would and wouldn't allow as far as something like that.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, we're gonna look at all of our avenues. You know, the question is whether or not.
The requirement is to provide, the requirement is on how you provide, I mean.
Well, something me and Troy talked about yesterday is at this new rate, are we starting afresh, or are we gonna get a bill from the previous year?
When I met with the city clerk yesterday and found this out, she told me that she was not sure yet how the city wanted to handle that. The law, as far as people being able to submit bills, you know, for this fiscal year, takes through September 30th. So she said that she was not sure, she had not been instructed how they wanted to handle this fiscal year, if they want to try to collect for this year. I asked her to put in writing kind of the outline of what exactly happened and how it happened and the whole documentation of the situation that I could then send to Lowell, particularly if they are going to try to back bill and collect for this fiscal year. I let her know that, you know, that is a tremendous amount of money that we don't just have laying around if they wanted to try to collect
I mean,
12
it'd be
months.
roughly around 116,000.
For just this fiscal year.
And over $100,000 a year from now on.
Yes.
So
For
they're trying to
water.
make up for the EMS thing to help provide that.
So at this point,
The question that I would have, I mean, what pops into my head, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, ma'am, is does the city of Guthrie charge itself for water services like that? Do they charge their own jail for waters?
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, do they charge the city hall? I mean, goodness sakes, this is amazing.
Yeah,
It's,
it's kind of open.
well, anyway. Go ahead, ma'am.
the city clerk just indicated that they had discovered that there was a calculation, whatever in their software that didn't calculate correctly. They did an audit of buildings and facilities that had this size line and type meter. This was actually brought on by they were checking on a hotel, but when they did the service to check to see who had that size line in the meter, the jail popped up. And so that's what led them to look back and discover this error. What I didn't know, she met with me, she called and said, hey, can I come over and meet with you and talk to you? It was yesterday afternoon. When I went to talk to Damon, he had already seen the city manager independently. So We don't have anything but the copies of the bills that Kim brought me yesterday. I've asked for an outline to be written out, formally kind of explain the situation, to move forward. The problem being they are going to implement the new billing rates immediately moving ahead for that bill, so.
We got a bunch of water around Cressy, you can overload up all you want, bring it over.
Well, you got a truck for us?
I do. It says non-potable water on the side of it.
Well, we can filter it coming out.
No, all I gotta do is paint over that, that's my thing.
Do you not have to have a sprinkler system going, and does that not require high pressure water? You don't have anything like that?
No, we don't have a sprinkler
We
system.
don't have that?
No.
Okay. All right, for fire prevention. is what
No, we
it's-
do have a fire.
Fire suppression is
Yes.
what I'm talking about.
Yes, we
Fire
do have-
suppression.
Yes.
So you do have
It's a
that.
dry
Yes.
pipe system.
That does require high pressure water, does it not?
I would assume.
Yes.
I'm not a fire guy.
So, yeah, we could do that for irrigation.
Well, and I'm looking at, as far as our car washes and stuff like that, we could put in a well for our car washes. Or it might be cheaper to go have it done somewhere else.
Exactly.
I mean, but I'm gonna do some digging and figure some things out. I just wanted you guys to be aware of the increase in that come next
Right.
payroll.
Well, I'm not saying cut off city water altogether, I'm saying that it's a whole lot cheaper to buy a storage tank and start hauling your own water in. If we're gonna use it in bulk, it's gonna cost.
Or
that
drill a
much money.
well, like say.
I like the idea of the well.
Yeah. I don't see why
Be
not.
independent. Anyway.
Bobby, did you?
What, are they gonna have a special meeting on CD 4 or 5? They gonna wait until the next meeting to?
There's, nobody here knows that information right now, so
I
nobody
talked to
really
Rod
understands that.
yesterday, and Rod says, we'll just do it again,
We're,
next meeting.
nobody really knows yet,
Mhm.
but we are gonna have a meeting, not a special one.
They're all pretty special.
Yes. The last one was really special.
Does, never mind, I ain't going over.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, so we'll go through item 36. Comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners. Mike, anything from you?
Went to ACOG yesterday, 911 committee, asked Brent there about how our 911 PSAP is coming along. It's all installed. Noticed on the call volume that they had there, they had for Logan County listed as 1. So, in asking about that, that was probably a test they had the other day. And so now it just requires the 911 receivers to be trained.
Yep, our estimated live date on that is July 15th.
July 15th.
We'll be live on
That will be excellent. And they are working on having texting available on that, so you guys are going to be trained also on the texting aspects of that. That'll be excellent. Only other thing there is going to shock you, I know, but the Garber Wellington has gone up a lot here in the last month. And the aquifer is now almost to a level, just under what it has been at maxed out. So our aquifers are doing quite well. So that's about all I really have.
Okay, Mike?
Talk about CED districts. Was appointed to serve on a CED 5 board, and at our last meeting, I voted to dissolve CED 5. And I just never had a chance to ask you guys what you really thought about the CED 5 and how you want me to lean toward on that deal. I mean, it might be a little late now, but I'd just like to hear y'all's thoughts.
Well, it'll be coming up again next meeting, most likely.
So I'd like to hear your thoughts. I mean, are you for CED 5? Are you against CED 5? I mean,
I support 100% the action you took at the last meeting. I believe it's in the best interest of our county and for us to be able to move forward and make alignments with counties for our mutual benefit. I think in the future that's the best way for us to go forward.
CBRI, we 12.5% of what the county receives in the way of CBRI goes to the CD5 to be our income, if you would. That 12.5%, I'm not sure where it's going to go in the future, but most likely where it'll go is the state CED to be redistributed to the CEDs. We also need to consider our SERV plan, because the CDs are also what do that. In order to be a CD and start receiving those 12.5% funds again, you would need to be partners with another county. And I think the only one that would be available to us would be Oklahoma County, which would make sense. Plus, they get the vast majority of the CBRI money. I think.
CIRB money.
CBRI money. 12.5.
CIRB money. No, CBRI, we manage here at the county already.
And 12.5% goes to fund the CD5.
Well, regardless, the CED5, you know, normally most CED districts do the county's 5-year plans. For the last 4 years, I'd say, we've done our own 5-year plan.
At least since I've been here.
We get, once a month I drive down to a CED district, and it's absolutely a
Well, I
waste of time. It's worthless. I mean, we get a little bit of money out of there, we're still gonna get the money, so, I personally think that we need to dissolve it and maybe look with another county to form their own CED district that's in line with Division 4. I mean, we got so many divisions in CED5.
I agree.
It don't even make sense.
I agree. And I think being a partner with Oklahoma County for our own CED might be the way that we should go. Another thing I found out is that a CED district can, I think it's up to $70,000 for reimbursement for the manager from CIRB money. And I don't know why the CD5 wasn't doing that, but we have not been doing that.
Right.
So it was just another item that was in there. I thought you should know.
I just wanted to hear y'all's feelings.
Right. But I am totally for dissolving CD5. It's split between Division 4, Division 5. It's a nightmare. I do think that we ought to split up possibly into 2 counties each. You know, Wilson down there in, what county is that? McLean. He doesn't have any issue. He's got counties right there, Cleveland and such. And so I don't see that as an issue.
I think Oklahoma County is kind of open to starting the CED with Logan County. So
I think that would be beneficial to Logan County, and much more so than what we already have with CD5.
I mean, they got engineers on staff if we could work out something in that direction. So.
Right.
Anyway, alrighty.
Okay.
Now I know what you think.
Thanks, Monty. Anything else, Monty?
I'm done.
Okay. My comments are concerning the CEDs. I think we're moving in the right direction. I like that. We have looked at a draft. I took the opportunity to draft up a language for a cooperative agreement between Logan County and one other county, and that's been sent through Lowell as far as, you know, the legal review for any cooperative agreement between counties has to go to both district attorneys. So it's been through ours to review for legality, and that's basically what they do, is they review it for legal. And it's been sent off to the other review, and I will once that is we'll bring it back to the board. If that is an agreement between another county and ours, we'll bring it back to the board for approval through resolution like we normally would. So we are working toward that. Whether or not, whatever happens with the CED at our next meeting, it doesn't really matter. We still need to move forward.
I agree.
And make this happen. So I really think that we're going in the right direction. And Monty, I think you made the right decision for our county.
Absolutely.
And we have 100% faith and confidence in you to do that.
Thank you.
So I did have one other thing, but it's not that important.
I did have one more.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Mike. What do you-
Oh, yeah, okay. So I also sit on the boards of the Central Oklahoma Community Action Agency, known as COCA. And I also am on the local board for COCA, which meets over there at the Housing Authority over on Perkins off of Pine. And our last meeting on Thursday, pretty excited. We have the Salvation Army now is going to be able to move from a very temporary kind of intermittent representation up here to full representation, as they put it, office in the Housing Authority. And I look for that to be a very positive move for our homeless and other people who are having issues. And so I'm really looking forward to being on that local board as well. So we have that working real strong with the workforce. Let me see here. We've got a lot of people who are going to be released from our prisons here soon. And we have a pilot program that seems to be working real well. We've had good success. It's only been 5 of those people. They did have skills that they learned in prison. They had found employment, but what the issue is they didn't have housing, they didn't have transportation. And that's what this pilot program is providing, as long as those former felons are doing what they need to do in order to become productive citizens. And so I'm looking for that pilot program to really shoot off. I think that Logan County is seriously going to be benefiting from this direction that we're going in. I really do. So
I'm glad you're serving on that, Mike. I appreciate it.
yeah, Senator Langford has been apparently has said that this is exactly the kind of thing he's looking for some congressional legislation. So I'm really thinking that we're going to be proceeding in a very positive manner here in the future.
Let's get some.
Good enough. Hey, Mike, we need to sign these.
Oh,
Hey, I got one
I'm
more
sorry.
thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Damon, does the city of Guthrie use our jail? I mean, do they bring you in?
Currently, no, we don't have a contract with them to house their inmates.
So they do all their own housing? I mean, is there
Well, if they
any
charge-
way we can negotiate some of this water bill? You know, we provide some services and help them out. I mean, we all ought to be working together. It's all taxpayers' money.
We all should
that
be
we're
good
spending.
neighbors, that's right.
I completely agree. We house, like if they file a state charge, we house those inmates. The ones we don't house is the ones they charge municipally, they stay there.
Right. I'm just trying to think of a way we can all work
Oh,
together on this situation. Maybe
I'm with you.
taxpayers paying the bill on either side, so, I mean,
I agree.
just throwing that out there.
All right, so while we're finishing signing this up, I did have one other thing too. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our first responders during this last flood event. That's really assisted our road districts. Our our deputy sheriffs have really helped us out when we were trying to get that big old railroad card pipe back there on May Avenue, running traffic for us, blocking traffic, helping us out in that area. And then on the other side, our Oak Cliff Fire Department has been very active in helping us with the road situation. They brought out one of their pump trucks and helped us clean out a culvert that had been plugged up for about a year and a half now. And they brought that big old high pressure pump truck out and blew that thing right out of there. Opened it up and we were able to fix the road and reopen the road. That is what we call in our part of the world the Oklahoma spirit, you know, how everybody comes together. And I want to really thank both our fire department and our county sheriff's department for helping us out and for us all coming together like this instead of pointing fingers and throwing rocks at one another. When we pull together, we can do a whole lot more, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Damon, and thanks, Oak Cliff Fire Department. And that's all I have. Short of me signing these, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.